Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Reserved Investments. So obviously, if you're following this particular YouTube channel or you follow any of my work in the antiques and collectibles trade, you know that pretty much I teach classic collectible finance, how these markets work over the short term, how these markets work over the long term. Now, a lot of you guys continue to ask me, Sean, can you do videos on the history of collectible finance? And I am slowly getting to that. I am slowly trying to introduce you to experts in the trade. Some of these particular experts may no longer be with us, like in this particular case of Ed Welch, which I'm going to talk about in this video. Ed Welch was a major antique dealer who also wrote for the publication known as the Journal of Antiques and Collectibles. And unfortunately, he passed away just last year. But he wrote a plethora of work for this particular publication, and one of his best articles, in my opinion, was entitled Collecting Investment Grade Antiques. And make no mistake, he also mentions collectibles in this piece as well. So what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm not going to read this article to you verbatim because it would be over an hour long. This is a fairly long article, and for me to break it down and analyze it for you, we would be here well over an hour with me getting into the weeds with this particular article. So what I'm going to do instead, I am going to put a link to this particular article entitled Collecting Investment Grade Antiques in the video description below. You guys should check it out. You guys should take the time to read it, even if you are on the collectible side of the equation. I assure you, this applies to antiques just as it does to collectibles. And if you remember, guys, many years ago on this channel, well, a couple of years ago, I should say, I've only been doing this for roughly 4 years on YouTube at least, I did a video where I talked about the different mindsets that make up the antiques and collectibles trade from a financial perspective. You have collectors, you have dealers, you have investors, you have speculators. Why you are reading this excellent article that was written back in 2003 that still applies to this very day from this expert known as Ed Welch, who is unfortunately no longer with us. Just keep that video in the back of your mind so you can understand the difference as to how a collector looks at these markets versus that of an investor, versus that of a speculator, versus that of a dealer. If you have that understanding and you take the time to read this article and you understand this article, what it is saying in its entirety, I guarantee you are well on your way to becoming a better participant in the overall antiques and collectibles trade, at least from a financial perspective, regardless of how you define yourself. So if you define yourself as a speculator, an investor, a collector, or even if you are a dealer, you're going to get something out of this article that was written by Ed Welch. Please take the time to read it and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you are one of those individuals that wants me to do a video where I break down this article in its entirety and I give you all of my thoughts on it, please also let me know in the comment section. I just don't want to put through a video that's going to be over an hour long. That's going to only interest several people. So maybe it won't get a lot of views. And then I've taken an hour of my time and pretty much just wasted it. So I just want to make sure that you guys are getting something out of each of these videos that I produce and put out. And in certain instances like this one, if there's a link to the article that I can put in the video description and just tell you to read it and let me know your thoughts, I am willing to do that for you because it gives you knowledge in these markets. And always remember, knowledge is power, knowledge is money, provided you know how to utilize that knowledge properly. Thank you for watching and have a great night.